Welcome everyone to the new Human Open, which is organized by Vanguard Esports League. Today's matchup is between Omnius versus RDT. We have seen both these teams play before, and what an honor is it to be back to cast them. I'm Play, a Twitch streamer who is partnered with Ali Dogs Gaming. Through them, I've been picked up as a caster, and as well introduced to an amazing sponsor called Dynastic, who of course is a sponsor of an organization. So Dynastic is a computer company who offers high quality products for a lot lower prices compared to the counterpart suppliers within South Africa. I am joined by my co-caster, Kudu, who is the owner of Vibin Network.
Absolutely great to be back here again today, Plets. Well, it's been a great tournament so far. It's our second day here of casting. Feeling a little bit exhausted, a little bit stressful with everything going on, but looking forward to the game that we have today on Clubhouse.
Honestly, Kudu, I couldn't have worded that better myself. It does get a bit exhausting sometimes, but look on the bright side, because of the sponsor of the tournament, of course, promoting the esports scene within South Africa and helping us out. So yeah, so if you're feeling mentally exhausted, stressed, and maybe you can't even shake off that brain fog, you don't have to look any further because through the new Opti Mind, of course, being introduced by New Human, will ensure that you have optimal and enhanced brain function, so you don't have to look any further. And through them, guess what? It also enhances your cognitive function, increases mental energy, improves your focus, concentration, and memory.
That sounds absolutely awesome. It's definitely something I'm definitely going to kind of order, get that going, and it's probably going to help my casting as well. Maybe I can actually say the people's names correctly. But we might as well get straight on into this incredible matchup here between Ominous and IDT. Jumping in onto the actual game. Uh,
So exciting. Honestly, being Clubhouse, one of the first times we've been casted this map within the tournament. Super excited to see these teams once again bringing back with amazing talent that we've seen previously. But I can't wait to see what they're gonna do differently. Of course, being on a different map, new of course statics will come through, but it's the same textbook that we love to see, and they do it in their own unique way. Honestly, could you being the good old Clubhouse that we all know and love? What do you expect for the banning phase?
I think, Plit, we're going to see a very similar banning to what we saw yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another Blackbeard ban here. I'm not going to be surprised if we see a Thatcher ban. We could also maybe even see a Maverick ban coming out here. We did see on the last game played on this matchup. I was just about to say we saw a lot of Monty being played. So we could even see that Monty ban coming out, which is exactly what we see here from Ominous. It looks like IDT is going to try and set themselves up here, obviously being on the attack first. They go for a Jackal ban, trying to make sure that they can end up roaming harder once they get onto the defense. It's definitely a very strong attack ban there, especially seen as they're attacking this first half. It's going to make their life a little bit difficult if Ominous decide to go on the roam. We're seeing another Kaid ban, very similar to yesterday. That Kaid ban definitely coming out for, just fighting down on basements. It's once you get those hatches electrified, they're extremely hard to get open. We do have a Thatcher on the board, so that would have made it a little bit easier. But it's just kind of just taking a little bit of just utility away there from the defending side. And then we see a mirror ban coming up again. That we saw that twice yesterday. Definitely not something we are not expecting. It's not a big surprise. She's extremely powerful, especially down in basements on. I guess just like holding down in basements in general on church side.
I mean, seeing the ban operators, of course, being the Jackal and the Cade, who should expect a very heavy roamer play from the defending side. And of course, now, if the attackers want to use that top ground control to the full advantage, they have no worries about the Cade protecting those vital hatches. And we have seen how important it is to have top floor control, especially seeing how many of the floor actually is soft breachable. We've seen the Sophia come into play so many times, which we all been seeing play Baskilio right now. Going to open up all those different opportunities, not only for the players, but maybe even for himself. Through there, you can even rotate around, catch any players off guard. As we do see, we have the players starting right down in the basement. We see the Valkyrie already going around up the stairs, trying to get ready, place those cameras upstairs, right above the bomb site to see who is it above, where are they, maybe get a Nitro Soul play from down below. Take a player out early on and give them a player advantage. From there, holding out, whoever pushes through the sides, pick them off one by one and hopefully take the first round.
You know, you were talking there about the importance of those C4s, and Ominous Gaming have 4 C4s in the pockets. The only person not having a C4 right now is Ergo, bringing out those Bob wires. We do see they're setting up Church here for a hard Church hold. They're opening up those, you know, holes just above the reinforcements there. That's so that they can kind of throw that C4 over. That C4, once thrown, can land all the way down at the bottom of the central staircase. So it's an extremely powerful spot to have open here. Looking at the lineup coming here from IDT, you know, it looks like they're just going to, I mean, they only have one hard breacher, so they're going to have to use Ace extremely cleverly here, whether they try and go and open up dirt and push down dirt, or if they're going to go for those hatches, or even that church wall. You know, they can't really go for many of those here, but it looks like they're going to try and get rid of these bandit charges here on dirt and try and push down dirt here.
Of course, dirt being a heavily important spot, especially one of the best ways to enter through basement. We have seen so much action towards this side as well as it is throughout the tournament. We already have a player from the defending side holding it down, if anything, trying to get an early kill. Maybe find someone, but we see Angry African playing from down below, spraying up the player right above in kitchen. Couldn't connect his Nitro Soul, but he can hear a couple players right above, and through that Wicked takes down Skillio. Right now in a 4v5 situation, we do have Luxman already under 20 HP so early on, only been a minute and 20 seconds. Wicked once again takes on Luxman, get himself 2 kills on the attacking side, now pushing down main stairs, going to play off that long hallway, try to find any players, if anything, holding Church behind a deployable shield. Tonic taking shots from down below still. Of course, Wick at this point being a heavily damaged leader, and so early on, making all the possibilities for his team right now.
Ominous Gaming taking full advantage of the vertical gameplay here. IDT just not really sure how to combat this. They're running over Kitchen, getting shot from below. Tonic was looking behind him, didn't know where these shots were coming from. We have, you know, Wicked playing up Dirts, playing extremely aggressive. They're holding down Dirts, but it looks like they're just going to push down staircase here and try and take control of Long Hallway, which does already have quite a bit of utility in it. With the Goyo up on the map, we do see a shield down Long Hallway as both the Nomad and the Ash fall. Vlad grab spin in the last round. Tonic left all alone against 4 on this first round. Ominous Gaming really showing their dominance when defending basements.
We have seen Tonic, of course, come in these situations and, of course, pulling it back. But NME taking on Tonic, just as I'm saying, and of course pushing together as a single team. Can't really do much when you by yourself, especially knowing that you have a player right above you, 2 players right below, ready stuck on such a small platform to maneuver around, taking a chance, trying to peek one player, maybe moving up, but of course still knowing there's the whole team waiting for you. It's a very difficult situation, but really well played. First round going in favor towards the defenders. Or we see something different, we're going straight into the second floor, being CCTV and cash room. Will the top floor be more beneficial towards the attacking side? Of course, having a lot more different areas to work off of, not being streamlined down the main stairs. Of course, right now, kitchen did not work in their favor, but they still have the eastern sub roof where they can open up straight into CCTV through the double soft walls. Of course, at that stage will be reinforced, have the long hallway as well to work off, and just have to be very careful of the different windows.
You know, I think just looking at the lineup coming out here from IDT once again, they only bringing out the Ace as the hard breacher. I think that's something that they kind of struggled with last game, him only being able to open up 2 things once he had gotten open dirt. You know, there wasn't really much he could do. In fact, he ended up getting taken out there by I believe it was Wicked who was playing a very aggressive down dirt. So, they weren't able to open up any of those hatches. It made the push onto basement extremely difficult. We know how hard it must be, especially when you can't open up church, you can't open any of the hatches. It means you either got to push down blue or push down main staircase, and that's just, funneling your team into the gunfire, especially with that Goya shield down the hallway there. So it's going to be extremely important for them here to open up that wall straight onto site here using the ace. They won't be able to open up any of the garage walls, so that's going to make it very difficult for them to push NME out from rafters here. But we'll definitely have to see what their plan is. We're not going to see any bandit tricking coming out here, obviously, because the bandit is not on the board, but it looks like they're immediately going for the hold here. They're now opening up the hard wall straight onto site as the rest of the team rotates around. Ace decides to just hold down the breach.
This stage, of course, the defense has been very well spread. Of course, not having any jackal to worry about. They can, of course, roam and play from all these different angles that they have available to them. As you can see, we do have a defender playing within construction, holding a very crucial hallway. Of course, that room, having the information from the logistics office hatch, from there having a player jump down, call it out, provide that crucial information, holding down any player of the central sub roof who might be peeking into CCTV, maybe even catching a player off guard right above. Right now, the players within garage being the Jaeger holding down the forts. NME taking down Tonic right now, super early in within the round. So early stage of course having a whole double wall open from the A's. Skiller of course playing the Sophia, working straight down onto side, trying to find any player of God. A beautiful pre-fire into the soft wall, of course being opened up, knowing that there is a player on site. Sending out drones, trying to find any information that might help them win this, but as I'll say that Vlad takes out Neo, Ninja with a Nacho, Ergo takes on Spin, NME takes on Lantzman. So right now, NME of course on a double kill. Skiller outside central sub roof all by himself, and once again in a 1v5 situation. He has one more peeking straight down at him, and of course the trade comes in. Have of course been very good players from in both those teams. They can't fight any in the trade. Really well played once again. Defenders taking the second round, holding very securely, of course playing off one another. At this stage, one thing I can say, they're separating the attackers and making sure they take them in to a 1v1 gunfight, maybe even a 2v1 if needed, but really well played at this stage. So early days. Can't wait to see what RDT can do to bring this back to a closer game.
So it looks like IDT, made their play there. They went straight for site. Once getting that wall up, they managed to get rid of the shield looking onto breach, which is exactly what they needed to do to start making their push in. But then, unfortunately, Tonic falling early on in the round, leaving his team in a 4v5. It was then really just difficult for them to get hold of everything. They weren't able to get hold of garage at all, so that by the time they were looking to push on into sites, they were just getting pinched from both the left and the right side of Ominous Gaming there. So very, very difficult here for IDT. They're going to have to figure out how to pick apart this defense. In order to pick it apart, they're going to have to slowly move from one side of the site to the next to gain control before they start looking to go for that plant. It's really the only thing they can do at this point.
Right now we do, of course, go towards gym and bedroom, holding the top floor once again because it did work in their favor. They do know how the opposing team will attack, and they're trying once again to split them up. Of course, QC Wall being a very important factor right now, being held down by the castle. We currently reinforced that the Lucy coming into play with the Jaeger ADS system. Very interesting right now. Even right now, we have the Jaeger with the barbed wire trying to slow down any players going towards sides.
Wow, we see a very, just a dump of utility there in cash. It's going to be extremely, extremely important. IDT are now having to attack this. They're going to have to push on into cash, gain control of CCTV room again. So it looks like they're going to immediately open it up here using the Zofia. Now they need to drone it out and realize that how much utility is there and get their players to rotate to try and push together through cash. They're going to have to get control over cash and CCTV before trying to get into construction and push onto site. They could, however, just try and get control of Jacuzzi and go plant in gym, but then it's going to be all about pre-plant plays.
See now, of course, the attack is playing really slow, making use of their drones. The castle barricaded doors right now doing the most. If anything, you're going to take a lot of the time away from the defenders. Even waste an air charge or a severe. Right now, shots being traded. Spin already being hit with 27 HP so early on. Go shots being broken, trying to prevent access. Maybe even accidentally shot it. Right now, such an important utility to have. If anything, breaking a cover so the attackers can't use it against them. As we see the teams, of course, working together. Having a Thatcher already within bathroom is extremely crucial. We see the ace as well pulling back, trying to play off that long hallway. We have a player within Germ trying to hold back any of the attacking players who will try to rotate around. Right now, the shots are coming in. Angry African taking down Skellio, Vlad taking down Tonic, Neo Ninja taking down Vlad, Wicked takes down Neo Ninja with the trade. As I'll say that Spin takes on Ergo, NME takes on Luxman, Angry African finishing up the round, taking down Spin.
You know, that was just a lack of droning there from IDT. They had no idea that there was somebody just sitting in gym. They just walked straight into bedroom and allowed themselves to get absolutely gunned down. And I mean, you know, Ominous Gaming just collapsed in on them once they realized they were on site there. Just, you know, they need to get that drone work done before they just push on in. You know, he tried to push through bathroom and into bedroom by just, you know, walking and looking. But that, you know, knowing that that castle was there on gym door, they should have known that there must have been somebody rotating through gym, or at least knowing that there was rotate holes there, or at least holes on the floor. But IDT just not able to reply here to Ominous Gaming.
Right now, of course, still being long before halftime. At this point, try to gain a round, if anything, once you can defend, bring it back. You can see Angry African open up a rotated hole straight into blue. We have seen this swap being used from time and time again. Of course, protecting it, allowing the players to use it to get onto, of course, Arsenal through the doorway, which might throw the attacking side off. Of course, being very good players pushing through dirt once again. Can we see another smart play from Wicked from down below, who was playing underneath dirt, of course shooting straight through kitchen, find himself 3 kills. Of course, IDT this time learned they must be more cautious, maybe make use of the counters that are available, even the objects within the rooms, to maybe absorb the Nitrosol damage and not get killed so early on. But really well played, still being round 4, letting everything getting kicked undergo right now. 3 minutes in time taken. Let's see what the attackers can do this time around.
So they're switching out their lineup here. IDT bringing on 2 hard breaches. I think that's going to be a really good move for them here. Now they'll be able to use that thermite to open up dirt, which it looks like they're about to do. Sonic's going to open up dirt here. Skillo is going to try and push now into kitchen side. Once he gets through kitchen, he can open up the hatches on kitchen. He can open the hatch on blue. He can open the hatch down into moto. That's going to be extremely important. Spin just practicing his shots here before he jumps on in and gets that drone work done. You're seeing kitchen hatch being opened now. This is a good first step here for IDT. They're making a lot of moves. They need to now get control over first floor. I believe they did drone out top floor as Neo Ninja takes down Wicked's great movement here from IDT as Vlad comes back, finishes out Neo, bring it back to a 4v4 situation. IDT on a lot better round here to their previous rounds. They're getting control, they're making the moves, they're opening up the things. Vlad loses a lot of health here from the shots coming from Hatch as Dirt is now also controlled here by Tonic. Laxman gets shots off onto Vlad, bringing it to a 4v3 situation. It's looking very good for IDT this round.
IDT already changing up the game plan. This is what makes these teams different compared to your normal average teams, or even players who just play comp. Learning from their mistakes, adapting to the way their opponents are playing. As you can see, they're really smart moves, how they approach all the different areas where they were previously punished. As I said, at NME, wide peeking, taking out Spin, playing super aggressive, working in his favor. And Burma being taken down within the dirt hallway right now by Ergo, playing extremely aggressive himself. Raze is going up from right above, currently in a 2v3 situation. Once again, a beautiful angle by Skillo taking down NME, bringing it back to a 2v2 situation, rotating around towards dirt where they have previously opened. Laxboxing right above, trying to catch any player off guard, using that hole open within the soft wall where it was previously opened by the defenders. Using it against them, really turning it hard in this round. Being a lot closer. Once again, we have African waiting for any person to drop down hatch, maybe catch on and running above, which he does. He does spot a player above, providing that crucial information. Then there is another player within dirt. And there we go. right now in a 1v1 situation as Angry African knocks Ergo. Angry African right now is facing down Skiller within Dirt Tunnel, finishing up, making sure that he can't be revived or provide any information while down, while peeking, of course, being affected by the mute jammer. Right now, no information can be given to him. Try to peek every angle, try to separate and every angle he can so he can make sure he's safe. But Angry African playing very slow, very safe, very defensive behind this hard cover, taking down his opponents and winning the round.
That's absolutely crazy. I really thought IDT had that one in the bag. They had gotten all the control. They had really set themselves up there for a good push straight onto sides. But they just getting, just outgunned here by Omnius Gaming. Omnius being extremely aggressive player. We saw that very aggressive push onto Tonic straight into Dirt, just wide swinging absolutely everything. I don't think IDT almost know what to do with all of this.
Course, being very aggressive. You don't really always expect the defenders. Of course, the basic idea of it is defenders must just hold, prevent access towards attackers, making sure the diffuser does not go down. But once the defenders turn the tide and play aggressive, and almost make the opponents play within their strats, which we have seen being used, especially in such high-level gameplay, turning the tide for them, ensuring that they win these crucial defending rounds. Right now, having a 4-0 lead against IDT, I'm sure Ominous is feeling pretty comfortable going back to the top floor, which they were able to successfully hold by themselves. Of course, at that stage, still having 4 players alive, only having one of their players fall to a trade. Right now, Garage has seen a lot of utility going down, ensuring that they have that full room to work off of. Of course, being Raft has been an extremely crucial point to hold. We have seen previously, when we last casted yesterday, Monty going straight up the stairs onto Rafters, taking on a player, and of course, taking a lot of the utilities from the Legion. Through that, we were able to bring back the round. But really unfortunate this time around, not having a Monty, of course, learning from the different games they have played in personal experiences, really smart plays. But honestly, Kudu, seeing that the band's coming through, do you think the bands might have thrown RDT maybe underneath the bus this game?
You know, Pets, I almost want to say that, they went with the Jackal ban there, which has allowed Omnius to kind of be a little bit more aggressive in the sense that they're not sitting on site, but they're all sitting just off of site. So we see 2 of them here holding Garage, Wicked down on the right behind the shield, Angry African sitting by Bomb A. Bomb B should be they should be able to get the plant here if they're able to get control of Garage, but they're not going for these Roman clears. They're instead just trying to push straight onto sites. So, I mean, just looking at the bans, I don't think it would have helped them because they're not even trying to get rid of anyone here in Garage. They're not making any pushes. They're all just stacked up there on the open breach. Looks like they're going to try and peek around here, but he has managed to push all the way into B here. But again, he's now surrounded. He's got people both behind him and in front of him. They needed to be able to clear out one or the other before making these moves here, but he's just immediately going straight on in. We're seeing Neo, incredible shots down out onto NME, who was sitting in Garage, so that's a very important spot right there. Seeing Ergo pick up that Claymore and get the shots off onto Neo. A massive, massive pick there, and as he walks up the staircase, he gets more shots off. Ergo is going absolutely off, takes out both Spin and Skillo. Great play there by Ergo. With a minute left round, he gets taken out. He's now in a 1v3 situation. Tonic is left alone against them all and gets taken out here by Angry African. Again, just IDT going straight for the sites and not worrying about the roamers on either side.
Very interesting. Like you did say, Skiller jumping straight within the window, going straight onto sides from, of course, central sub roof. Extremely aggressive. Of course, no one through the drone work, no one was watching them. It was actually very important. Just been additional threat, knowing that there is a play between them, separating the two. One player who was playing Eastern Stairs and one player within Cash Room. Knowing that there were 2 players Garage. But like you did say, at that point, you are sandwiched in between them. If he had diffuser, I'm sure that that stage, of course, the defenders would have pushed him, played a little bit more aggressive. But at that stage, if the diffuser could go down, having 2 players on the eastern sub roof just looking straight into CCTV, preventing anybody from coming in. But a beautiful push from the defending side by the Jaeger, going outside garage door, peeking far left and peeking wide, taking down a player. Even the attacking side weren't exactly sure what happened. Bringing back the side, knowing that there are players looking straight onto side. If needed, the other players within cash room, or maybe even from construction side, could rotate and support their team. Then, of course, at that stage, being a 1v4, supporting one another and finishing up what they started.
Okay, so we're going to see a very, very similar setup here coming out from Omnius. Now, IDT need to realize that they either need to try and push and take control over cash before making into construction. We see the castle once again, they're placed on gym door. That's going to be very important there to try and get that open and push the player that was playing out in gym last time. It doesn't really look like right now any of the players are going to be holding gym, but they can obviously easily rotate. They got 2 rotate holes there. They got kill holes in the bottom of the wall there. So that's all going to be extremely important. Skillo just being very cautious here for any spawn peaks coming out here from Omnis Gaming, which, you know, wouldn't be of a massive surprise to us, seeing as how aggressive they have been here. But it looks like they're going straight for Jacuzzi Wall. They're going to try and get Jacuzzi Wall open, which is obviously extremely important when pushing the sides. But again, they cannot stack up. They need to be able to get the pinch down onto side before making those moves.
Omnis has been very comfortable within the strat that worked before, doing something very similar, but changing up to what they believe IDT would do right now, as we see Wicked playing very aggressive within logistics right now, covering up everything, ensuring no drones come past. If needed, he can pull back through the hole. He just made sure he can jump through. The drone were coming in, giving that information away, maybe even baiting him out towards the hatch. Right now, it's all about information corner, and of course the Sophia ready within the red stairs right now, opening up into cash room. Neo Ninja taking on Ergo super early on, bringing him to a 4v5 situation. Spin, and of course Capital pushing from Jacuzzi War, pushing towards bathroom now. Neo Ninja finds himself a second kill against Vlad, allowing his teammates to do what they have to do as he becomes a big threat to defend inside. Spin, who previously pushed through with the Capital, takes down NME, finds himself a 2k as well against Wicked, currently Angry African in a 1v5 situation. As I say that, he takes a Neo Ninja, tagging a bunch of players, putting out the pistol, ensuring that he still has bullets to defend himself worse, as he does hear the banner charges going off behind him. Right now in a very difficult spot. Diffuser is in hand. A lot of the attacking side is below or just above, of course, 50 HP at this point. Tonic, being the only player 4 HP, is the last resort to display, as Angry African is a very strong opponent. Of course, being ready, making a name for himself this map alone. But through his previous plays, using the Gurgle shields against him, can't push through now. Diffuser is going down. Only 40 seconds remaining. What can Angry African do?
Angry African stuck between a rock and a hard place, getting finished out here by Laxman. Great round there from IDT. Getting those first picks off was extremely important. 2 of the players just really clutching it out there, getting their shots off. I mean, a way better round from IDT as they pick apart the Omnius Gaming defense.
Ready,
We're
at least
now...
bringing one. Sorry,
I
Kiri, I know
apologize,
you're
sorry.
quite excited there.
Yeah,
Having been
bro,
one
I'm
on
getting
both
excited. We're
back.
half time. Just go for it.
Awesome. So sorry about that. Some confusion between us casters. What a great laugh. I mean, you think we're doing this for quite a while. We will be more or less perfectly in sync, but we're having a good laugh now about it. So I'm sure we can have some fun in between. But right now, I want to thank all the viewers for sticking around, even through the mistakes. There are high points and the players as well. Having a great time. But if you guys haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the Vanguard Esports League YouTube channel to make sure more tournaments like this will take place. And if you haven't already, smash that like button. Let's see what round 7 has in store for us. Super interesting on what, once again, going straight above. This time, everything turned around. What can Omnis do to their own defense, which of course RDT have learned, maybe even adapted to make it perfect. At this stage, Kudi, do you have any predictions how the second half will go? Would it be a lot closer, or do you think the energy that Omnis has built up will ensure that they take this map home and take the win?
You know, that last round, IDT looking a lot better than their previous rounds. They really just managed to gather themselves there. So I'm hoping that they're able to kind of make a small comeback here and put some pressure onto Omnius Gaming. I think it's going to be extremely important here for IDT. It looks like they're setting up in Garage. They're doing a very similar strat here to Omnius, making sure that Garage is going to be picked. We're seeing Wicked immediately opening up the door here onto Garage. They're going to place those claymores, make sure that run out can't be done. They're going to try and open up that wall. And I mean, it'll be interesting to see if Omnius, it looks like actually here right now, they've already opened up the Garage wall here. So they are trying to push the defenders back off of rafters. It's an extremely important spot here as Angry African tries to open up the wall here. Looks like they're going to open up both the left side and the right side. Bandit's going to just immediately run all the way back the staircase to try and hold it out.
Right now, Tonic, who was previously holding the wall straight onto side, pulls back rather than play through cash. Room spin, playing aggressive, holding the wall to Garage. Very close, he tried to catch a player off guard while he went around. They could not connect his shots, putting him back. Playing a lot safer, knowing that, of course, the Garage doors being opened up. Where Angry African is now playing on, trying to find any player who might rotate towards rafters, or maybe be one peeking the open walls. Super exciting things happening right now. As I said, Atonic gets taken down by Ergo. Wicked takes down Lux, man. Bringing it back to a 3v5 situation early on. As we see Ergo sees a player on red. Stairs taking him down. Ergo ready on 2 kills as he takes down Neo Ninja. Right now in a 2v5 situation. It's up to Spin and Scalar to hold down default and bring this round back.
Absolutely great shots are coming out here for Omnius Gaming in a 2v4 situation. It's looking very, very good for them, but they are going to have to worry about Skillo. As I say that, Skillo gets the shots off onto NME, bringing it back down to a 2v3 situation. Omnius Gaming are now going to have to try and collect themselves with shots coming straight onto the mute, bring it back down to a 1. Spin is left alone against 3, but does have Diffuser. He just needs to hold out here, but Angry African gets those shots off and takes out Spin. Another round once again for Omnius. They're now on match point. IDT really need to, it's a do or die now for IDT as they need to get their defense under control.
RDT right now have spit in a very difficult spot. They have to bring back 5 rounds in order to take it within overtime. But right now it's super exciting. Of course, changing up the game plan. They might continue with the strats, which of course at this stage haven't really been going in their favor. They might go for something completely out of their textbook, something completely out of the box, something some people can even describe as crazy to bring this back. Maybe if they play a little bit more aggressive as a defending side, which we have seen from Ominous, turning the tide, making them play within their strats and instead of letting them do what they want them to do. But right now, a 6-pick from the sledge towards a banner by NME. Really interesting right now. Of course, having 2 hard breaches going towards the side, ensure that they can open up as much as they need to. Of course, being right at the top, we have seen a mute and a bandit play on these double doors right now. We're having a Jaeger ADS systems coming in, showing no nades or frags, maybe even flashbacks coming into affect the defenders at this point. But Skelio changing up, going towards the Valkyrie play, providing that crucial information, which maybe we can even say Skelio being the man of this, of course, this match, this round, being using the Valkyrie cameras, playing a little bit more aggressive, maybe doing a run out, catching any player off guard, maybe not expecting it. We have seen players right outside the garage doors now, of course, not seeing as much attention in terms of utility, but still being reinforced, preventing any access towards sides, ensuring that Wolfers can be held as long as possible, try to get any picks as they can.
So it's important to note here, Omnius bringing out 3 hard breaches. We saw, you know, on the rounds that IDT was attacking, most of those rounds, they only brought 1 hard breacher. It's, you know, Omnius can now just, you know, create the map pretty much how they need to in order to make their strategy work for them. They're going to be able to open up all of Garage, open up the wall looking straight onto server. It's going to be, straight onto CCTV. It's going to be extremely difficult for them here to try and make this hold here as IDT are desperate just for another round win here as the second defense round.
Of course, being CCTV and capture being a very interesting side to hold. Can't really say it's any side to favor, but right now we have Wicked being caught off guard by the defender. Prony Spin find himself 2 kills against Wicked and Vlad playing close to the wall, using it, if I can even say the smoke, of the thermal charge going off there in the debris flying to his advantage, finding two players super early on. Almonds, of course, at this stage still having two of the hard breach, but having two players down, they must be at this stage be a bit confused. Their strats already for this round went downhill, but they can still bring it back. We have seen these teams already play really well. As we can see, Logics is after right now having two players working together, Banner and of course Iana, Drone, pushing in together. Iana Jones at this point trying to find that crucial information. We see the drones coming out. They're all Valkyrie cameras for the defending players to play off of. Knowing that there are really two players down, one of those players can make sure they can watch those cameras at all times. As I say that, Wicked takes down Laxman through a Claymore. Laxman playing a little bit too aggressive there, maybe try to get back towards side, gets taken down, bringing it back to a 4v3 situation, which is very good for Ominous. Having a one player disadvantage right now, it's a lot better than having two. As we see this, we see a gunfight happening on the main stairs. Yana gets taken down, but Tonic pulling back around, maybe trying to catch any players within Garage, but still being 10 HP himself. He's one shot and then he's down out of the game. But at least his teammates will still have an advantage play. As I said, that Angry African takes down Tonic right now in a 2v3 situation.
It's looking very good here for IDT as Omnius doesn't have enough map control here. They're really just trying and hoping that IDT players overextend and peak those angles here, but Angry African moving up straight onto rafters here. Is he going to get the shots off onto the castle? Shots coming out from the castle, peeks the window, but loses the fight to Angry African, whose shots are absolutely insane. Angry African just holding out the breach here as NME looks to push. Neo Ninja gets shots off onto Angry African, bringing it all down to NME alone against them all. It's now a 1v1 situation with 5 seconds left on the clock. It's do or die as he does not have diffuser, but Skiller turns and gets the shots off onto NME, and IDT take round 9.
Right now, still having a lot of rounds less than their counterparts, but right now just need to bring it back 4 rounds, bringing it back neck and neck, making it a close game once again, but still being match point. Still a very stressful time for the defenders at this point. Of course, knowing whatever happens this round, if you die early on, that's one nail in the coffin. But of course, still being very good players. We've seen a very aggressive play by Spin, working off, playing right off the thermal charge, hit himself 2 kills early on. Honestly, probably being the deciding factor of that round. Ominous at that stage really being down 2 players, playing within logistics, of course, bringing it back, leaving it back to a 1v1 situation. But Tonic being the bandit trekking towards the mute, maybe influencing the change, of course, by NME from a bandit to sledge, but going back towards the bandit, very smart. At this stage, it's still early stage, but of course, having a Valkyrie once again with an Archosaur in hand, playing down below. What can we see? Giving Smith in heavy roam play as we did before, by the players on the main stairs, defending space from, of course, from the master bedroom side and logistics, or will we see a more defensive side, which we have seen for RDT, holding down the basement floor, ensuring whoever does come, maybe pre-punish the Ominous side who came and did the same thing to them when they pushed the kitchen side, getting shot from down below. Of course, this time around, having more Nitrocells to work off of. Mistakes can be made, but can correct and work off of one another. Let's see what happens in the next 7 seconds.
Yeah, it's going to be extremely important here for Omnius. They did 6-pick the Hibana out onto the sledge, which tells me that they're going to push straight onto the kitchen and open up all of those vertical holes to be able to control the long hallway all the way down, which I believe does have a shield at the end of it. But that long hallway all the way to Arsenal is extremely important. If they're able to open up all those vertical holes there, they can really control the movement of the defenders between the 2 sides here. We do see the drones coming out here, making sure that there is no one roaming on the top floor as Vlad just moves straight on in here and gains control of stockroom, making sure they get control over this first floor. They're getting the peaks off onto bottom here, forcing the defenders back on down onto sides. But we do see one of the defenders roaming all the way upstairs as Neo falls to Vlad. That's a great early pick here for Omnius. It's going to be extremely important now. They just need to get rid of Spin. Once they get rid of Spin, they can move down onto side. You see the stuns coming out from the Ash, but Spin gets the shots off just before the Ash flashes him and brings it back down to a 4v4. He now moves back down onto side. He's now done his job. Looks like the calls came out here from Omnius that he did rotate back downstairs. So now they're not worried about these roamers anymore. They're starting to open everything up. NME with incredible shots down onto Tonic, bringing it out for them, putting IDT in a bad position here with still a minute 30 seconds left on the round. Spin again being just very aggressive and losing his life here to Wicked, who pushes down Staircase. We see the ADS coming in clutch here, trying to stop the opening up of the wall straight onto Church. With the ace there along with him, it looks like they're going to immediately open that up and get the Valkyrie camera sitting in the corner here. It's now going to be do or die for IDT as they look to try and hold out this Church hold.
Marksman playing very aggressive through a bullet hole that he has had within blue, but Wicked cleaning up the round, winning it for Ominous, taking on the last two players, of course, bringing down Diffuser along with it. Ready, well played from both teams, being a 7-2 between Ominous and an RDT. What an amazing game that we just have on our hands. Clearly, what an amazing honor to be here watching it. I'm super excited. As you guys can see, we have the stats on the screen right now from the players. Really well played. All the players are quite excited, but Ominous, of course, coming through towards the end. They've been very consistent throughout, being a very difficult spot for RDT to punish them. Of course, being down so many rounds in the beginning, being a lot more pressure to have so early on.
Yeah, that was an absolute incredible game there, Plets. I think
Thank you for the game,
IDT were
boys. It was a
really
lot of fun.
struggling there. You know, they really
GG's. Good luck
struggled
with
on
the rest
those
of the games.
attacking rounds. They just weren't able to just pick apart the defensive strategies there. And then when it came to their defensive rounds, I felt like they were almost panicking. They were really just trying to get those shots off onto Omnius and get that advantage. And even once they got that advantage, they kept just wide swinging, being super aggressive, just hoping to get those picks off. And they got punished for it. So hopefully we see, you know, IDT kind of take back a little bit and try in their next matchup, perhaps moving a little slower, you know, bringing a little bit more hard breaches in their attacking rounds. I think would have really helped them out.
Of course, guys, it's not over just yet. We are heading straight into our second game, being Tartan Odyssey versus Dynastic. Very exciting, of course, seeing these teams once again play in the past. Can't wait to see what they do differently this time around. Can we see the same Tartan Odyssey that we all know and love? And of course, Dynastic, which we saw yesterday, playing very consistent, of course, playing really well. At this stage, guys, of course, stick around. Once again, we'd like to take this time to thank New Human for sponsoring this tournament, allowing everyone here to continue doing what they do, allowing the players an opportunity to represent, play, and show off all the hard work that they have done for every one of us. Okay, guys, at this stage, we're going to head straight into an intermission, but make sure to stick around. What an amazing game. Can't wait to see what these next teams have in store for us.
Hey, put the intermission on.
Welcome everyone back to the second game. Right now, of course, being casted by myself, Plays, and my co-caster Kudu. We've seen Tartan Odyssey versus Dynastic. What a great game we're going to have ahead of us. Going straight into Cafe, a very well-known map that we all know and love. Very popular within this tournament. Right now, Kudu, of course, being a pre-lobby matchup talk. What do you think we can expect heading straight into Cafe?
It should be a great game here. I am expecting a very close game between these two teams. They're obviously both very, very good. I mean, we had a great game previously, so I'm not really sure what we're going to see here when it comes to the types of bans. Uh, you know, uh, there's so many other types. I mean, we're probably going to see. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Monty ban again. It seems to be someone that the Siege community in South Africa just does not like to play against because most there is a lot of people that do main Monty. I wouldn't be surprised if we see. I mean, I kind of want to see an Ace ban coming out here. Just trying to force the old school hard breaches players here. But it should be fairly interesting. What are you kind of expecting here, Plet, in this matchup?
I'm expecting a very close matchup between the two teams. Of course, Dynastic, of course, been a very strong team, but Team Tartan Odyssey been here for a long time. A very well-known organization, of course, a very well-known team, having great members within them. Playing against one another, it should be fairly close. Of course, we can see a very neck-and-neck game going straight through, but I think the turning point at this stage, what we have seen from time and time again, will be the halfway point. Of course, turning tides, switching sides, and I can't wait to see exactly what they do to switch it up. Of course, both being very smart players, learning from one another when they're busy attacking or defending, depending on the situation. Can't wait to see what they bring forward to the table. Of course, going to the bans, I'm quite actually interested myself. Exactly what can we expect? Of course, we have seen a mirror ban from time and time again, especially no matter really what the map, just how important her mirrors are. But looking at how we see people hold the top floor, we'd love to see players will hold on washrooms and bar freezer from there, going straight into cigar lounge, making sure if anybody does jump through, will be heavily punished. But can we see a maestro play from both sides? Of course, being on defending, really interesting. We've seen how powerful he is within that washroom spot, having his deployable shield up, preventing any access from that side of the building.
Should be a massive gameplay here. I'm not sure if you remember, Pleb, but the last time we casted this map, we saw a lot of holes coming out of. I believe it was Freezer. The players really just looking to try and hold out a cigar lounge. Obviously, it's an extremely important position, so they were just opening up. That entire freezer area there, getting that view straight onto the cigar lounge. They had the shield set up in freezer. They had a maestro sitting behind it. It's a very powerful position there. I'm sure we're going to see the whole bar area being opened up so they can see those default plant spots. But it's going to be fairly interesting to see how these two teams decide to both defend and attack these different sites.
Of course, being Cafe, being a rather large map with, in my personal opinion, probably one of the largest rooms if we compare it to different maps. Of course, Vela being a very large map as well, but they have so many small rooms, so many different corridors to work off of. But of course, being Cafe, having three stairs that often see a lot of action being, of course, the white, red, and brown. Exactly how these stairs come into effect will be rather interesting. And once again, once they do go towards bar side, we will see the cocktail lounge hold being between C1 and C3, where we see a lot of dynamic duos pop off. Of course, not ready always have to be top floor. Seeing the players within reading and fireplace, seeing the top floor control coming into effect. Yes, of course, from down below, there isn't actually as many soft floor breaches that can come through to do harm to the defending side or the attack, and just vice versa at this point. Just depends what they try to do. But honestly, could you seen how the last game went with the ban of the Jackal? Can we see something similar this time around? Or do you think we'll see a lot of plays from the Romans? Or will be more defensive, just do what they normally do, just textbook strats?
It's I'm sure we're going to see a lot of textbook strats coming out here. We're just waiting on one more player to start this matchup, which should be a banger of a game. I think, Ples, just looking at the different bomb sites here, obviously you've got your three main bomb sites. You've got your kitchen, your reading room, or I guess you got your four because you also have the fireplace hall and mining room, and then you have all the way upstairs. What are you expecting here from these players? Is there, I'm sure we're going to see a top floor hold first, which I'm expecting, and then move straight down. Then do you think we're going to move straight down into kitchen, or do you think we're going to see a kind of reading room hold here?
The PC side honestly loves starting from top and working their way to the bottoms. But of course, at this stage, we often do see a lot of players avoiding the middle ground. Of course, that being the reading, and then of course fireplace. They're honestly hated because of the different opportunities that the attackers can do. Of course, coming from right above, or and of course from below. Sandwich them in between. Get rid of the roamers. I think if they do go right above to the top floor, they'll make their way straight towards kitchen, ensuring that there's two floors above them. If they do have roamers, can deal with any of the roamers, any threats that they don't have to worry about. And of course, just do what they always do, to streamline the enemy into where they want them towards the first floor. Of course, we'll see a lot of action to between small bakery, then from there moving towards pep room, open up the kitchen, cooking walls, maybe even from main corridor. But at that point, having your roamers guarding red stairs, maybe playing towards VIP, watching even the bar, preventing any access, just securing as much as they can. But once again, you'll probably see a lot of players from the defending side making use of those deployable shields, which is super effective. I won't be surprised if we do have a smoke being pulled out, especially if we do hold kitchen side. Being such an important operator, preventing any access from the sides, maybe even dealing some damage. We have seen the smoke coming in, getting a few kills throughout the tournament, throughout these teams, being really smart about the placements. But there's only one way to tell, and that's seeing what happens within the game.
Yeah, it's 100% fair. I'm also interested to see because obviously we know that shields are extremely powerful on this map. You can place them, back of cocktail lounge there, overlooking bar, or even on either heaven or hell side. Either watching red stairs or watching the opposites, balcony there. Again, very powerful down in kitchen. You can set up those shields in almost every single spot. So it'll be interesting to see if they go for more of a shield hold or C4 hold. But let's get straight on into this matchup here between these two teams. We're going to just jump straight into the banning phases and see what we have going on here.
Heading straight into it. Super exciting. I'm sure both sides are super ready, prepared, both mentally and emotionally for what's to come. I always do believe being in the esports scene, you deal with a lot of stress and a lot of pressure that people don't always realize. Of course, if you win this, your name will be out there. Seeing all these different people speaking about you, watching you, and of course, having two casters and observer, seeing what you are capable of doing straight off the bat and having people narrate you is very nerve wracking. But let's see what they have to bring to the table. Being the first ban, of course, seeing the Thatcher come into play, a very important operator, especially seeing what he can do at long range with his Thatcher nades. In order to remove any utilities by the defenders, allowing more access from, of course, the attackers to get onto sites, do what they have to do, sandwich any roamers, sandwich any players, separate them from the team, and of course, clean up whatever they do from there.
Should be a great one. So we're seeing a Thatcher ban coming out here, which is not very, very surprising. We have seen Thatcher being banned in most of the matchups. We're seeing another Blackbeard ban coming out here. He's obviously super good, especially on the windows overlooking onto piano here. The players just really just getting set up here. Dynastic looking to ban their defensive operator here. Obviously, starting on the attacker side, this is really going to tell us what they're worried about. So they're going to go for the one my pick here, which is a very good pick. That's a shield out of play there. That's also a lot of utility there. That's going to allow them to bring in a lot of those stuns, those smokes, those grenades, and make those pushes. Now they only really have to worry about the Jaeger ADSs. We're seeing a mirror band coming out, which again is she just changes the entire game. If she's in play, the entire game and the way that match up is played changes completely. Almost every single strategy can change with the utilization of those mirrors. So instead, we're seeing a lot of teams just ending up immediately banning her. Looking at the lineups coming out here, we're seeing a Capital being played for the first time, I believe, in this tournament. I have not seen another match yet where they have been played, but they are bringing out two hard breaches here as we go all the way down into kitchen. It's going to be extremely important. The sledge played by Oscar is going to be pretty important when it comes to how they're going to play, whether they're going to look for that vertical gameplay, kind of open it up, get rid of any of those bandit charges on Bakery Wall. We see the six pick from the Legion to the Goyo. So again, going for those shields. We see the smoke being played here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a shield coming out from him. But hopefully we see some C4s as well in the pocket of the defenders.
In round one, instead of our plan starting from the top, working their way down, we started right from the bottom, which is really smart. Very interesting choice, of course, knowing how powerful the top floor control is. A lot of people do believe it's at least one round that you can win. But maybe saving it for later, maybe saving the strats, of course, if needed, to pull back around, get the advantage before the halftime switches. But as we can see, once again, Freezer getting a lot of attention at the stage, of course being reinforced by the smoke, ensuring that anybody that pushes through the garage doors will be punished. Of course, having to play normally watching from VIP side, maybe even within the long room. Of course, being towards Brown side would be quite interesting. The Bandit, of course, working off of the castle barricades and trying to prevent any players from, of course, just running straight towards side. Maybe, if anything, try to get them trapped in the spot that they can use. As you can see, as right now we have Asterisk right now playing behind and playable shield within VIP, looking straight down, having of course a player will be played from Freezer, making this crossfire. If someone pushes him, if he gets flashbang, he will be protected right now. Nate, of course, hitting straight into it, trying to open up as much as he can, using his own hard breaches at this stage. Coming with the new update allowed a lot more opportunity for the attacking side. Very interesting. Don't even mention what the scopes have done as well, changed up the game drastically, making the game look a lot better, informing these players of what they can do. As we see, Dean is very aware there's a player behind the deployable shield right now, pulling back away from the deployable shield. No one is getting push heavy right now from three players, but there we go, the first kill of the round. Take from Astro taking down Nate. Very aggressive push, trying to get straight onto one side, punish any defenders who were not paying attention. Wolverine trying to clean up, but his teammate could not, being very cautious of the wide stairs, not really droning around him. There could be a runner anywhere around them, above them. Maybe right now, even within the mix, right now Wolverine gets taken down by the bandits. Of course, Cannibal taking down Dean as well. What an amazing plays coming through. Currently a 2v5 situation. Oscar currently on 15 HP. The smoke's coming into effect. Ash just over 50 HP.
Absolutely incredible game here as we see the shots coming out onto Oscar, leaving Crushers alone against 5. The final shots coming out here from Titan Odyssey as they finish the round flawless. Absolutely great round here by Titan. Extremely aggressive gameplay. Kind of worked out once that diffuser got dropped into Freezer. Ace just missing the shots there onto the bandits. I think at that point Dynastic were in a lot of trouble.
Ready, round one, going in favor of Tartan Odyssey, being very strong, holding down the fort. Of course, punishing Dynastic, being very aggressive, of course, all streamlining as well from 1 point. Instead of going around, I mean, of course, you still have the whole bakery to make use of. It's not bad to stick together, maybe a 3-2 ratio, but committing all your players, honestly being trapped, of course, already having the deployable shield and knowing a play is he's ready. It's preventing a massive push from all 5 players. Having a player within Freezer as well, of course, at that stage, move towards Kitchen Service, finding a player who was super aggressive within Freezer, taking him down, doing the same thing from the Bandit. We were sitting within Freezer, punishing the, of course, the players who want to get on side, get the Fuser down, get the entry frags for the team, but at that point they're over-committed and could not pull back. Ready time ticking down for them. They only have 3 minutes to work off of that stage. I'm pretty sure, could you please correct me if I'm wrong, a minute had passed. But they had to go all the way towards Bakery side. That'll be a good couple of 15 seconds, and then from there, ready with using all your drones within that one side where you wanted to just streamline your push. Ready, a lot of utilities being taken away from the attacking side. Of course, hard breach is ready being used. You're quite limited to your second option.
Yeah, it's extremely important there for that attacking side. You know, they just really push the backside of Freezer extremely hard, and I don't think they expected as much utility to be there, or at least as much push coming out from the defending team here. But as we move a little bit upstairs, just looking at the utility here being brought out from their team. So we do have two hard breaches here, but we do see the Kabuto bringing out that pretty much the square that can open up other reinforcements. We're seeing a lot of stuns coming out here, which did come into handy last time with the one player playing with smokes, the ace. So we could try and see perhaps a smoke plant here coming out from the attacking side if they're able to gain enough control here. Wolverine making sure white stairs is clear before trying to move on in. The picks coming out here from drop shots as Cannibal leaves the game. Dean is left down, leaving him in a 4v4 situation. But the shots coming out from Slybutter onto Nate, just jumps straight out of window, gets those shots off. Absolutely incredible. He's now looking towards the roof, looking for any other players that are going to be trying to rotate up. Tries to get back in safely and does so, but his teammate, the Bandit, gets absolutely slaughtered by Oskai, who was sitting on top floor. We're now left in a 3v3 situation with Dr. Dropshot sitting on just over 30% health. Both Wolverine, Crushers, and Oskai still looking very, very good here in their push as they try and pick apart the defensive team here.
Defending team, of course, playing really smart, knowing how limited they are in terms of players right now. Playing on start, having two ways to work off. Of course, having Jaeger right above with all the utilities, taking down Crushers, bringing it back to a 2v3 situation. Of course, really well played by the Jaeger, but gets punished in return by Oscar. Of course, knowing his position is given away, he's still up there, can't go back towards south because of the castle barricades that prevent him. Oscar making sure there aren't any more players right above. Diffuser is still down. Both attacking players are right above. While they go towards the course of the diffuser, then from they're going towards south, but only having 55 seconds to work off. Well, Oscar realizes play on white stairs. No, he doesn't, but his teammate gets the trade in a 1v1 situation. Diffuser is down. It seems like Dynastic is going to go for the kill instead of going for Diffuser and then try to see what he can do. Never mind, as I said, Wolverine jumps out the window, gets Diffuser, going all the way around. I don't think Ashley at this stage realized what the plan is. Don't know exactly where Diffuser was dropped. Smokes are coming in by the ace. Try to open up any walls, maybe throw off the defender. Of course, having the Panda charges placed, he can't really do much at this stage. Making the ace charges, of course, being slightly used to this, but of course, taking out the camera, allowing him to go around long. Does he know that Asterix is currently holding Laundry? In a very good spot, of course, having a rated haul onto Sart. He's going to push it. He sees the barrel. He peeks wide. Asterix wins the gunfight, taking a Wolverine. Once again, Tartan Odyssey winning round 2. Really well played. What a great match we just had there.
That was almost, I mean, those were just very close shots there. The shots almost missed out, and they would have finally picked up that first round there. Great round for them. After dropping that diffuser outside, they were kind of left in a panicked stage. Oscar just, siege timing, looking out the wrong way, and just getting picked out. Very, very, very unfortunate there. But we're going now all the way back, all the way up to the top floor. We're going to a bar, cocktail, lounge, hold. Going to see a very, similar lineup here coming out from the team. We've seen the Goyo being brought out. We see the Smoke being brought out. Again, the Jaeger being brought out. We're seeing a 6-pick from Oskai onto the Capitao as they're still now bringing 2 main hard breaches. That's going to make it very easy for them to open up, top of red, so that they can now push on into the cigar lounge a lot easier. Once they get control over that cigar lounge as well as Heavenside, they can start making that push onto B-bomb to get that plant down. But it looks like they are kind of setting up there in Freezer. Again, we see some holes in Freezer being placed. It's going to be extremely important. The Smoke looks like he's going to be setting up in there. That's going to be great to see if a Goyo shield gets placed down in there as well. That'll make it a very, very strong position, which it is actually just there. I just missed. It looks like Cannibal's going to be the one that plays within Freezer. It's going to be a great play there. It looks like he's got both the shotgun and the SMG. So that shotgun, if they now push into Freezer, he's going to be able to hold top of White very easily with that shotgun, but be able to pull out that SMG to see any of the players trying to push far into back of Cigar Lounge. But we see the sneaky peeks coming out here as Oscar falls and leaves them in a 4v5 situation very early on in the round. There's a lot of utility lost there from the Capita. We see the great C4 throw coming out here and gets just 25% of Wolverine's health, just losing a little bit. It would have been absolutely devastating if they had lost another player. There are only 2 minutes 30 seconds left of the round. Dean is now just looking on top of roof, looking to open up any of these, but they're going to use these charges now to open up the hatches and slowly make their way down onto red.
Seeing how the map rework came in, honestly it feels like it's been forever. This map has become the norm now, how the rework came into play. But seeing that what the new opportunities this map did bring through the rework, all these new hatches, the new balcony, and actually see the attacking side will love it and open up any of course possibilities that they can. Already having Oscar fall early on, having Dr. drop shots, still hold it from his goal shields right there. If they do push, but he can pull back, trigger his shield, ensure that they can't push after him and punish him. As I'll say that Nate takes down Sandals right now, ready in a 4v4 situation, because the second side of this stage playing very slow, playing together through Mani, making their way towards red. Stairs together as we have the RQ down below, taking out all the different utilities by the defenders. Because being at this stage, 2 of the new jammers unfortunately cannot connect to the second one, deciding to leave it. You do have, of course, at this stage, Jaeger being droned out from down below. Yes, there was a Valkyrie cam, but the cameras have not all been taken out by the attacking side. Still streamlining the attack, sticking together. All the smoke realized. He hits his smoke, canister down, gets caught by the check. Cannibal takes on Nate with a Nacho, bring it back to a 3v4 situation, drops it as well. As he's Nacho, heavily tax crushes, just above 26 HP at the stage, using his shield to see, takes down the player of the diffuser, taking down Dean. Knows his play to his left. Will he be able to connect the shot? Yes, he can. Drop shot coming in with the double kill, bringing it back to a 1v4 situation. Wolverine being the RQ, who was probably down in Mani, trying to get all the utilities for his team right now, all left all by himself. Gets caught out by all these different crossfires that he could not check by himself. Cannibal punish him, but ready, well played. What an amazing game. What an amazing matchup that we have here today. Honestly, Kudu, I hear your excitement. What is going through your mind during that play?
Wow, that utilization of that shield by Dr. Dropshot there was absolutely incredible. Using that power of the Vector, just laying out the Ash. It was it was just so satisfying to watch. Honestly, great defensive round there coming out here from Titan. Now 3 rounds up as we're moving into round 4. It's really Titan needs to try and get control over this aggressiveness that we are seeing here sorry, we need to see Dynastic. Oh, sorry, what am I even saying here? We got to see these attacking teams try and get control over this defensive strategy. They're playing extremely aggressive, and I don't think they know how to respond to Titan's aggressiveness.
Honestly, Kudu, having all these motions go through you, making you a little bit tongue-tied, I can feel the excitement. But of course, once again, I think that's a perfect time to bring up our sponsors. Of course, being new human grade A, guys, make sure if you ever feel a bit nervous, if you guys are writing your exams, or even at work, feeling a bit exhausted or stressed out, make sure to go check them out. Honestly, having such great products to help you stay focused, improve your cognitive function, just help you do what you have to do. Of course, being cards ourselves, having to speak, having to pay attention to the finer details of what these teams do. Of course, being in a very wide angle right now, if you see all of our players take notice of where they go, even the players themselves, to stay focused after long hours of playing some of the matches, of course being a best of 5, that's a lot of time sitting in your chair, playing the same game, maybe getting slightly stressed out because of the nerves, maybe being a bit, say, underneath the weather because you know who you're playing against, but of course making the dreams happen and staying focused because you know you have a product behind you that is capable of doing that. Honestly, Kudu as well, she can back me up here. I'm just having a company coming into the esports scene, improving the South African esports scene, taking the game of Rainbow Six Siege, which we all know and love. As well, just on the same note, before we even see what happens in a round, If you guys haven't already, smash that subscribe button, support this amazing channel, smash that like button, make sure we do more tournaments like this in the future. Yes, it's still pool stages, wait until we hit the brackets, seeing such amazing plays right now.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. I'm definitely going to need some of that new human here with all this adrenaline running through my body. I need to try and focus to not get so tongue-tied here. But it looks like we're trying to pick apart this bakery hold here. We're seeing the switch, last round we saw Dr. Drop Shot sitting on the Goya, but instead we're seeing Sandals now. He throws out the C4, but jumps out instead and gets the shots off here onto Wolverine. Does not need to do that, but gets punished while running away. Nate gets those final shots off. A great shot there from Nate. Extremely important there for his team. They now are able to try and push into Bakery. Grenade coming out here from Nate, taking out Oscar. I think he was aiming that, like, at least, I mean, he knew his teammate was there. He just, yeeted that grenade straight into Oscar. Oscar was like, don't worry, man, I'm going to catch it. And, good night right there. They're left now in a 2v4 situation. It kind of just fell apart there.
What a beautiful play of the Natural Soul, though. Of course, being super aggressive was punished himself, but unfortunately the team, Brad coming in, taking out his, of course, his teammate, playing super aggressive, trying to go through that castle barricade that was there, but Crush is right above, trying to find any feet that he can track the player from there, supporting his teammate Dean, who's currently in Bakery, playing behind the counter, trying to find any players on site, which he has, of course. He knows where the mark is, trying to free fire, maybe trying to catch the soft ball, but hits, of course, the kitchen equipment. Goes to Jacko now rotating around, trying to support his teammate, ensure that they can't flank him, maybe open up the door himself, maybe try to sandwich the players. But right now, Crush has been heavily tagged through a Buddha's hole, bringing under 50 HP. Cannibal not too far behind, taking on Dean. Right now in a 1v4 situation. Yes, Slav, of course, been slightly low, but we still have the smoke. Dr. Drop playing by VIP, making sure no player comes from white, maybe even brown stairs, limiting the Jackal where he can go. Right now, he's going all the way back to the bakery, small bakery window, just to ensure that he knows it is safe, it has been clean, needs to get the fuser. Of course, being down at this stage, having an opening straight onto side does not help him. The stage having a very aggressive Jaeger push him. Cannibal gets punished, bring it back to a 1v3 situation.
With 20 seconds left on the round here, there's not much Crushers can do as Diffuser is down. So he's either going to have to take out 3 or grab Diffuser. He jumps on in and a drop shot lies him out. Titan Odyssey again winning the round here. Their defensive rounds have just been extremely powerful here, and there's not much that, anything that, Dynastic can really do at this point. I'm not really sure how they're going to, get control over this. They definitely need to just get better at just overall communication here as we're moving into round 5. It's looking very dominant here from Titan.
Well, still being far from over. I'm sure Dynastic has something up their sleeve, which I don't want to bring out just yet and bring back the game. But right now, like you did state, of course, Odyssey has been such a fierce team, super aggressive, but making sure they can back it up with, of course, such good shots, brilliant pre-fires. Right now, it's still early stage, but right now we're going straight into reading and fireplace. Can we see the same dynamic duo that we saw in the top floor, playing off one another within, of course, there at that point being C1, C3, being awesomely placed, of course, using a lot of the utilities there within Cocktail Lounge. But will that punish him this time around? Yes, it worked the first time around, but will Dynastic at this stage be able to realize what they're trying to do? Will they be able to punish them? But let's see. We see Star once again open up a really important part of this, of course, wild stairs, allow him to catch any players coming up for his team. We might be holding towards fireplace side. Yes, of course, they can be punished on the same note by any players on wild stairs, shooting straight down to that softball, catching anybody through the fireplace, maybe even with a great angle, going straight down into that 90-degree hallway.
Absolutely incredible. So we're going to see a good hold here coming out from them. We see the floors being opened up. It's an important site to hold on the top floor. So we're going to see a lot of utility being dumped out on the top floor here. So we're seeing a lot of shields coming out. We already see the castle barricade. They're trying to stop any rotates. We're going to see some Valkyrie cams coming out to be able to watch onto the window side to make sure that if any players are pushing up, they're able to get those picks off of. we did see, you know, a lot of utility just being dumped up there. We see the camera getting taken out there from the Valkyrie. That's a great pick. A lot of that information is now not going to be utilized. 2 out of the 3 cameras have now been taken out. The poor Valkyrie just not getting the cams in spots here, but we do see, you saw another shield that had been placed there. So we got, I believe, 4 out of the 5 players, now 3 out of the 5 players on top floor looking for those hard holds. Looks like Sandal's going to be playing out there. Great shots again coming out from Dr. Dropshot onto Nate here, bringing it back down to a 4v5 situation. Dr. Dropshot just dropping out Diffuser there again. You know, Dynastic are now going to have to go fetch out Diffuser. It looks like he's going to move up close, as the call out would have come that he was on top of the shield. He now moves closer onto the window here. Get the pick straight. He gets the shots out onto Oscar, who loses a lot of health in that gunfight. But as I say that, Sandals gets Dean with a beautiful C4, but Wolverine picks up Cannibal, bringing it back down to a 3v4 situation. There's a minute 40 seconds left on the round, and Dynastic still do not have a lot of map control. They're still trying to get Dr. Dropshot out of the spot. He jumps out of window like a crazy madman and gets the shots off onto Wolverine. It's back down to a 2v4 situation. Titan Odyssey have been playing extremely aggressive, and it has been working for them. Sly Butter takes out Crushes. It's now Oscar left alone against them all, who gets the shots off onto Sly Butter and has control over top floor now. He is still left on a slither of health. There's 3 defenders in his way, but he does have diffusers. So he either has to take out all 3 of these defenders that are starting to kind of come down on him, or he needs to go for that plant. Looks like Dropshot's going to slowly push up here, trying to get the shots off onto Oskai, who is just sitting out in the cigar lounge. Not really sure what to do. I think with 45 seconds left on the round, it's kind of in a panicked stage, but the shots come out once again from Dr. Dropshot, who gets those final shots up and wins the round here again for Titan Odyssey.
Really well played, as we do see the teamwork from Tartan Odyssey working together. Instead of pushing one by one, they're each holding their different spots, limiting Oscar's movement right above. If anything, trapping him, almost baiting him into a different player. Of course, Oscar playing really well, making sure no players are playing aggressive, but rather stay on side. There's only a minute left at that stage. Let time tick down. Let Oscar make the mistakes. Of course, still having Diffuser at that stage. He has to go towards side, still being a floor above, having a player on white stairs, having a player watching red, and having a player down below in case he wants to jump off any of the balconies and punish him from there. We do see a six-pack coming from Vigil, going to Goyle, but Dr. Dropshot, which we do see him enjoying the Goyle, and of course Oscar going from Sledge towards the Nomad. All these six-packs throw the opposing team off. Right now, as you can see, the scoreboard is of course all on the screen. And right now, these teams are playing really well. The kills all around, the teamwork, the synergy. This is what makes this game super exciting to see what these teams bring to the table, what they have to do to not only go further within the bracket, but firstly qualify for it. And then from there, the best team will of course continue moving forward, and then from there the games just get better. A lot more hard work has to go in. Super tight games within the pool stages, but only one team can be the winner and take home the cash prize.
Should be a great matchup here. Titan Odyssey 5-0 up here onto Dynastic. Dynastic, I think, just kind of shook a little bit. They really need to try and get this going here. Hopefully, you know, they're able to pick at least one of these rounds here away from this Titan Odyssey defense. But the pick coming out here from Dr. Dropshot, once again, giving them an advantage straight into the round. It's absolutely crazy here. I'm not really sure, but he gets trying to open up another window here, but Nate standing high up, looking down wide, gets the shots off onto Dr. Dropshot, brings it back down to a 4v4 for his team. There's still 2 minutes 30 seconds left on this map, but these teams are playing extremely aggressive. Thanos trying to fight it out here, but decides to fall back instead and give them the room there to be able to push on in. Looks like both Valkyrie cameras have now been peeked out. The shots coming off here from Sandals. Great headshot onto Nate, who gets picked off, peeking down onto White. Once again, just Dynastic are in trouble. They're not able to get control over the sides. Fortunately, we are seeing the Nomad being utilized here, trying to combat this aggressiveness coming from this team. They're now trying to just get control over. They're just trying to get control over Cigar Lounge, but they're just not able to make any ground here on the strong defense.
Already been a 3v4 situation from Sandals, of course, being under a quarter of his HP, playing around with the mute, the Valkyrie, communicating with one another, seeing where the opposing player is right now. Of course, the second side Rotter still being prevented within the room. Slow Butter playing behind the portable shield bar the goal. Of course, from there being extremely aggressive, which we have seen work in the past. Asterix, of course, pulling away as there is a player below him. Right now, we see very interesting how this playoff will go. I mean, very interesting to see how the softball is coming into play. As we did say before, there isn't a lot of little softballs that can be used for either side on this map. Wolverine takes on Cannibal, bringing it back to a 3v3 situation right now. The attackers do have the HP advantage. Oscar removing any of the utilities to the Jaeger ADS. Busy pre-find a player behind the shield, but cannot connect his shots. The Jaeger is pulling back. Starbutter wins the gunfight. Asterix not too far behind, taking on Wolverine, currently in a 1v3 situation. Dean is left alone. Can he pull it back? Starbutter reminding him that he's not too far around the corner, takes on Dean, winning the round. Tartan Odyssey once again.
Great round there. Just Titan Odyssey just really playing it out as we move over into half time here. It's looking very, very good here for this Titan Odyssey team. They've been very, very dominant in this matchup. They are now sitting on match points. So it's really is do or die here for Dynastic. They might just be 7-0'd here if they're not careful. But if they want to make a comeback here, they're going to have to win 6 defensive rounds in a row, which is obviously not impossible. But we're going to see probably slower gameplay coming out here from Titan Odyssey. They now know they're on match point. All they have to do is win one more round. There's no reason they need to throw 6 rounds in a row to get them back up. We see the 6th pick from an Ella to a Valkyrie, looking for that information for the team. It's something that I definitely think Dynastic will have to utilize to try get these picks off onto Titan. But let's see if they're able to get such a strong defense, a similar strong defense as the other team.
Of course, being do or die right now for Dynastic, being into match points in favor of Tartan Odyssey. Really going right now into the hard time right now. What can Dynastic do on the defense? Tartan knows if they make any mistakes, even if they play super aggressive, maybe even just try to play like a normal casual game, they can still mess up 5 times, then bring it back. If anything, they have a lot of leeway right now. Dynastic probably going through a lot right now, feeling this even more pressure than they were before. But of course, being very good players, being within the esports community, they have been in a situation before. They have practiced for this exact moment. Every situation, every scenario, they have thought out, and let's see what happens. Can't wait to see what Tartan Odyssey brings forward to the attacking side.
Should be great here. So they're going to try and clear out Bakery here as they look to push all the way from the bottom here. But now that they've cleared that out, it looks like they're all going to be pushing up towards top floor here. So there's multiple ways that they can try and take control over this top floor. The most common, or at least I think that probably one of the easiest ways, is to try and get control of Red Stairs. Once you get control of Red Stairs, you're able to push on into Cigar Lounge, get control of Cigar Lounge, get control of Cigar Shop, make sure you have full control over that cigar balcony there. Those are all very important. Once you can get control of that, then you can start making your push on to sites. But Oscar gets penalized, and so does Sandals, bring it down to a 4v4. These teams are moving very, very quick in this matchup between them both. We're only 2 minutes left in the round, and but still already 2 players down. But we're seeing a good defensive side coming out here as Titan Odyssey look to try and peek the roam coming out here from the Jaeger, who's coming up back from Bakery Staircase, gets the shots off onto Dr. drop shot and manages to leave before getting punished for it. We see the double kill coming out here from Crushes, gets shots off, and then the knife. It's looking very, very good here for Dynastic in their first defensive round. Need to get the final shots off onto the onto the attackers and get that round for his team. Great round there from Dynastic. They're looking a lot more comfortable.
Right now, both sides are extremely excited. Both sides playing really well. Right now, still being match point though. It takes a lot to bring it back. I'm sure Dynastic right now is building back that energy, getting that motivation. If anything, are prepared to win this now than ever. Try to do honestly at this stage a reverse sweep against Odyssey. Try to make them remind them that they're still here for a reason. They entered just as well as they did. Of course, still have the same equal opportunity to win it all. But can't wait to see exactly what happens. We have Oscar once again from the Vigil going to 6 between the Legion. Very interesting, of course, as well on the attacking side from a Thermite, defending side from a Thermite towards the Valkyrie. We have seen how important this Valkyrie is actually on Cafe. So many different spots that she can place her camera, it can be well hidden, provide information across the entire map. We did state earlier within this costly, of course, in this beautiful game, that this map is very open. There's a lot of rooms, so many different angles, so many doorways that link to one another, and you can use it all to your advantage. Right now we have the Vulcan trying to prevent any access on the cameras, try to of course prevent access towards the sides, try to see what defenders are, and from there just try to slowly prevent as much information as possible. As we do see a lot of the drones have been already taken out, even a handful of utility by our team of course Tartan and Odyssey. And through there, will this be able for them to bring it back, or will this lack of information punish them? Yes, still having 4 drones in hand, but we saw something very similar last time around on the previous attack, not having the drones for the later push, where they were punished, of course, having a lack of information, having a player on those red stairs to not only find one player, but try to connect to the second, but just causing a big mishap for the defending side.
Absolutely crazy here as we look to, I mean, just everything kind of pushing out. We're seeing the Montaigne getting played out here. We saw a very strong Monty coming out 2 games ago. You know, he has been banned in the games beforehand, but the calls are now coming out. So is the C4, and the Monty goes down very early on in the round, and Wolverine gets another pick out onto Sly Butter. It's looking very good here for the Dynastic team as they're already a 5-3 up with still 2 minutes left of the round. Dr. Dropshot just trying to get some shots off there onto the pillars. He's now rotating back onto red staircase as he looks to push out this defensive side. He's going to get the pick off here onto the Jaeger. So bringing it back down to like 4v3, just really helping out here. Sandals giving that great support drone work as, you know, Dr. Dropshot tries to get any shots through the wall here. Titan Odyssey need to take a breather and get control over their attack. Looks like they're slowly getting control over top floor here. The stun's coming out. He's making sure that no one else is hiding behind there. He's now got full control of top floor and he knows that he's safe. We're seeing the Nomad coming out here. So it looks like they won't be able to push up white stairs. We saw 2 of the defenders trying to slowly push up together, but heard the Nomad and the stuns come out and they immediately went back. So now that they have control over side, we're seeing great shots coming out here. Brings it back to a 3v2 as Oscar takes out Dr. Dropshot. Now in a 3v2 situation, it's looking a little bit okay here for the Titan Odyssey attack, but still Dynastic are in control of this.
Players right above, having a sledge, we can shoot and open up down below, of course from above, but gets punished by Oscar right now, having a last player. Bina, no, by playing with Sandals, currently in a 1v3 situation, almost gets punished by the player right below the first pillar. Trying to just buy time, at this stage only 25 seconds, the fuser was dropped early within the round, but the Monty drops down, not his way, the Castle cannot connect his shots. He does, he brings it back to 1v2. Of course, at this stage, Fuser is stalled down, trying to make the way towards side, trying to get him for the kills rather than the time. Finds the second player. Oscar gets punished right now, only 8 seconds. Thinks the last player is right above, while Wolverine is staying right behind, ready for the flank within Mani. Of course, Sanders at this point probably thinking it was safe because he dropped down there, not having another player back him up. But unfortunately, the time does take away. Only having 3 minutes to work with that play, being the last one alive in a 1v3 situation, still having 30 seconds to work off. He never had much opportunities. Of course, going for kills, taking down 2 of the players, but having the last player, no idea exactly where he is, just playing down time. You're in an extremely difficult spot. But that Monty dropping super early, of course, not really droning out, rather trusting the shield, but did not work out. And the fuse have just been a big blow to the attacking side.
Absolutely crazy here. It's now 2-6 onto the matchup board. It's looking a lot better here from Dynastic. They still have a long way to go before they're able to bring this match back up to them. I think at this point, Titan Odyssey are really just like, guys, come
Defenders,
on,
protect
we
your
need to
bombs
get
from
this all
being
together.
defused by
Let's
attackers.
put this attack down. Let's get this done. And now moving down onto kitchen, we're going to see a strong hold coming out here. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of utility being dumped here as we see the rotate coming out here from Pressure. So we're going to see a lot of utility being dumped here in Bakery as they look to hold Bakery. So we're going to either see, Titan are either going to try and get control of a Bakery. To do that, they'll have to open up Bakery wall, push out any of the defenders behind the Bakery counter there. But we're seeing mute jammers coming out, so it's going to be very difficult for them to open up that wall there. We don't have a Thatcher in play at all, so they're going to have to really try hard to get that open here. And with only one hard breacher, they can't utilize that hard breacher to open up that wall to peek onto Bakery counter. Doctor drop shot every single round. He was spawn peak and he gets downed here from one of the players roaming all the way upstairs. I believe that was the Jaeger played by Nate, but he is going to get picked up here. So the Jackal still on 20 health. He's going to be able to go for that hunt. We're seeing the little bullet hole coming out here from Nate, who's probably going to get this pick. He just misses the head there of the stage, who was now going to go all the way to the top floor and try and gain that control.
Well, being a 5v5 situation, of course, Dynastic ready having the 2 rounds behind and winning 2 rounds in a row. Feeling pretty confident in the defense, but the Buck sees a player within the bathroom, pre-fires it, of course, opens just perfectly, just blocking out the player, finishes up what he could, preventing, of course, allowing his teammate, the Jackal, jump through the window, drone it out. Beautiful drone work, beautiful synergy coming through. Tartan Odyssey right now working together, having rather team right above, having top floor control, working their way down, eliminating any roamers from there, just finishing up whatever they can with the anchors on site. You see the Buck jumping straight down with the sledge, having the last players playing between Bakery, of course, behind the bar and on site. Ready or played Wolverine behind this very defensive spot, which we see from all the players who have watched Cafe. Very good, of course, having a Jaeger ADS system to protect him from any utilities. It's very difficult to get him off that spot. But as I say that, another attack defender falls down, leaving a good chance for Tartan Odyssey to continue do what they do. So many holes above have been opened up, putting Oscar in a very dangerous spot right now. Even when trapped within the room, of course, being prepped enough to save them. What can he do from here? Can he move back towards side? If he does, will be caught off guard, but of course, Legion try to hold, of course, both White support Wolverine, hold ground, get rid of any drones that they can. But what amazing show up that we have right now. The flashbangs just missing the Jaeger ADS systems, actually hitting Wolverine. The Jaeger ADS systems just out of sight, not coming into effect, leaving attackers to go straight onto a site, taking down Oscar, punishing him because the ADS systems are too far. The Legion tries to clean up, try to make the situation better, but gets taken down. But drop shot, Wolverine takes down drops, getting a trade through, but Asterisk not too far behind, finishing the last player, winning the round. Team Odyssey wins the map.
Great matchup there by Titan Odyssey, just losing those first 2 rounds against Dynastic there, but got themselves together and won that kitchen hold. Absolutely great game there from Dr. Dropshot, really just getting his team that constant advantage. We see here going 13-5, absolutely great. We saw